Hello and welcome to our Leitrim Live. This is our third video, and this video is basically going to give you a bit more of an in-depth look at the damage that was caused from the storms back in January. If I'm pronouncing it rightly, it was Storm Eowyn. Basically, it was one of the worst storms recorded in Ireland, and the cottage got hit hard. As you can see from the videos there wasn't much of the forestry around that was left. The winds were relentless that night, and the trees that stood for decades came crashing down around the cottage. She really did take a hard hit. We knew the cottage had weathered many storms over 2 centuries, but this one left its mark, and it was really hard to see the cottage in this way. We'd worked hard for previous months on clearing it, getting ready, because our first big job was the roof, but this was a complete and utter setback for us. The devastations of the forestry from neighbouring land had fallen onto our land, and the only access that was available via car was completely blocked, so that put a huge delay on the work starting for us back in January. Even looking at these photos now, a few months on, it's still unbelievable the actual damage that the storm has caused. Hundreds of acres of trees just flattened, just ripped out the ground. And as you can see in the next clip, amongst all those flattened trees is our beautiful little cottage, still nestled in the middle of it all. But there was just so much work, so much clearing up to be done. We had plans for work to start in January with our roofing contractor, and everything just had to be put to one side while we worked out how to gain access back to the property. We needed, it could only be accessed via foot, so we needed to clear the path so we could get deliveries down the side. But even from the aerial view there, you can see just how close the cottage came to being absolutely demolished by the trees that were beside it. We're just going to show you a little bit more drone footage that we got, and it's just, yeah, I keep saying, looking back at it now, we've not looked at the pictures for a while, and just going through it now to make the video is just a huge realisation of just how lucky we were. So you can see there, that was the biggest tree that fell. It did hit the gable wall of the outbuilding. The outbuildings were already in poor condition. We were hoping that we could salvage them. Obviously more damage has been done, so structurally we're not sure until we have a proper look and assess the damage further. Our priority is the cottage. We wanted to get everything sort of cleared out the way because we had secured a roofing contractor, and obviously anyone who's doing renovations at the moment just know how hard it is to secure a contractor. So our main priority was to clear that whopping big tree that had fallen at the side of the house. So our house, or the cottage, stands on about just under half an acre. But you can see the colossal amount of damage that's been done around the area. But looking around, it's just a beautiful place to be. It really is. Even amongst all that devastation, it's a beautiful place to be. This clip is just showing just how close the tree came to actually destroying the outbuildings, and this little snippet is just what it looked like last year. So there is a lot of work to do. It would be really nice to save those buildings though, but can see now there was a lot of work to be done. So our main priority, like I said, was to gain the access to the back of the building, which took many weekends of chainsawing, many man hours. The tree was just absolutely huge. It wasn't just structural damage, it was everywhere. The garden, the yards, the paths were all blanketed in broken branches and pine. Even the stone steps leading to the house were hidden under limbs and debris. It felt like no corner really had been spared from the damage. And then came the clean-up. We started slowly and carefully cutting through the trunks, clearing paths, checking what was salvageable. Some trees were so big it felt like we were moving parts of the earth itself. We took breaks when we needed. We sat on falling logs, thought about what the land had been through before us. Storms like this don't just test buildings, they test people. But here in Leitrim, we pull together and we get stuck in and we keep going. When the wind stops and the rain's cleared, this is all what's left behind. Bent trees, broken branches, and a long road ahead. But the skies were clearer, and so are we. We know what this place means to us and what it will take to bring it back. This storm has taught us more than we expected. We've learned what this place means to us and what it means to keep going, even when everything feels heavy. We've learned that no matter how old the walls, how wild the wind, this dream of ours is still worth holding on to. Because this isn't just about the restoration, it's about resilience, it's about respect for the place that stood for generations. But what now? We're adjusting our plans. Some parts need to be rebuilt, some will be restored. But one thing is certain, we're not giving up on the cottage, because even after the worst storm we've seen, we still see a future here. This storm has made us stop and really rethink everything, our plans and our future in this cottage. One thing we're absolutely certain of now is that this beautiful place deserves to be restored. Our original idea was to renovate it and rent it out, but after all this, it just doesn't feel right anymore. Can't just hand over the keys and walk away. This little slice of heaven needs to be shared, not just as a rental, but as a place where people can make real lasting memories. So we've made a big decision, and we're going to carry on the renovation and turn this 200-year-old cottage into a luxury Airbnb, one that our family can enjoy too. And yes, that means we're stepping away from the vacant home grant. It's all on us now, but we're ready to pour our hearts and souls into it, because this cottage isn't just old stone and timber, it's our future. So we'd love for you to come along on this renovation journey with us and help us bring this beautiful 200-year-old cottage back to life. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. It really does help us keep going. And join us for our next video where we'll be sharing some major changes on the renovation. We can't wait to show you what's coming next.